How to make a bag carrier in Fusion by tracing over one of your pencil designs. Draw your design to the correct size in pencil and then go over the top neatly with a fine liner. Add some measurements. Take a photo of your design and transfer it over to your device using AirDrop or email. Check and open the file to make sure it's correct and take note of where you save it. Okay, so when you've transferred your image over onto your MacBook or your device, you need to take a note of where you've saved it, and then you need to open up Fusion. Now when you first open Fusion, you may open into a dashboard area, in which case you need to click on New Design, or you may open directly into the design area. Now if you have any kind of warning up here saying that your account is about to expire or your license has expired, you need to approach your teacher and get them to log into the Autodesk website and reassign you a license. If you don't do that, you won't be able to save the progress and you will waste your time on the software. Now, when you have got your license reassigned to you, you might need to click on here and sign out and sign back in again to activate it, or you might need to check on one of your emails to see if you need to follow any further instructions. So when you're back into Fusion, a quick reminder if you haven't used it for a while, this is a 3D design CAD modeling parametric software. You will be starting with drawing shapes. You can define the sizes and then you will pull them into 3D and you can modify them. So you have a viewing cube, which you can either click on a surface to turn to that view, or you can click on your home view to go back to your isometric, or you can just click and hold the box, the viewing cube, and you can tilt it around. Now it's good practice really when you are working on a 3D model just to click back onto your home view every now and again and just take stock of where you are with your project, and to start from that view. Now we're working in the design area. There are a range of others, so you can do isometric drawings, you can piece things together, you can do simulations for testing, animations, renders and so on. So we're in the design area. Now we have along the top lots of shortcuts, so these are the more commonly used create buttons, the more commonly used modify buttons, and then assembly, configure and so on. But if you click on the word create, you get all of the tools hidden behind that drop down box. Same with modify. You will notice as well there are some shortcut letters, so if you do start using the software regularly, you do find that you start slipping into these shortcuts to work a bit faster. Now other things to note, you've got a data panel. Your data panel is where you save your work. Now if when you first click onto yours you haven't got any previously saved work, you can set up a new project and then save everything into that folder. But if I go into my folders here, you know, I've got a wide range of areas where I save my work. So I'm just going to close that over. So we're going to start by creating. So we always start creating a sketch. So if I was to design something, I would usually, if I'm remodeling, I don't know, a cup that's in front of me, I might start with a sketch of the circle for the base. So when we use the software and we click on create a sketch, it asks us which origin or work plane we want to work from. So if I was designing from the base, I'd start there, and that's what we do most of the time. Now for our project, we are going to start by inserting the image that we created. So we're going to ask it to insert a canvas. Now we've saved that image onto our desktop, so I'm going to click on here, I'm going to click on my image and press open. Now it will ask me to select which face or which work plane I want to work on, so I'm going to say the base. Okay, now it will bring the picture in, but it brings it in quite small, so you can make it a bit bigger to work with at first and press OK. But then the benefit of having drawn a nice neat image with a measurement next to it is that over in this tree here I can click on canvases and I can right click and calibrate this image. And what calibrate means is that I can click 2 points and I can enter the exact measurement that I want that distance to be. So now that that is 125 millimeters, I know this is going to be roughly the size that I want it to be. Now this is obviously a photograph of a drawing that we've done, so we need to use this to plot our new drawing around. So I'm going to create a sketch on that work plane, and you'll notice that the tools change to the drawing tools. Now again, there are lots of different drawing tools, but for this one I'm going to use a fit point spline. So I'm going to start at one of the corners here, and I'm just going to plot several points around the design. Zoom in if it helps, and you can edit these nodes or anchor points afterwards. So if you're not quite happy with the design, don't worry too much, but you get into a bit of a sequence of where you want to drop your anchor points. And as I said, you can neaten it up afterwards, so don't worry too much, but it does benefit you having a nice crisp drawing at this point, which is why I used a fine liner and just nice steady hand going over my design idea. So I'm just going to keep plotting the points around. Now obviously this is where all of your designs are going to be slightly different, but the technique is going to be the same. I'm just going to move the design over so I don't accidentally click on any of the buttons up here. And I'm going to go back to my starting point. Now you'll notice that it's gone light blue. That means that I've closed the boundary. So this is a shape that I can pull into 3D. Now at this point I might want to turn off the view of the canvas so that I can just see my drawing. And using the selection arrow, I might want to modify some of the lines. So if I decided this wasn't quite where I wanted it and I wanted to pull it out, I could click on that anchor point and just adjust it slightly. But you also, when you click on the anchor point, you get these swing arms which allow you to adjust the curve. So tweak the design as much as you want to, just to tidy it up. And then when you're happy, make sure that it is light blue, otherwise it means you've got a gap between two of your points, which you can fill with one of these line tools. But you click on Finish Sketch. Now I'm going to go back to my home view, and this time you'll notice the drawing tools have gone, and I've got the Extrude tool which is available. Now Extrude is where we push or pull our shape into 3D. So I'm clicking on the face, not the edge, and an arrow appears. Now I can either drag it up to what looks suitable, or I can let go of the arrow and I can enter the exact amount that I want. So if I wanted 25mm, I press enter, and then I spin my viewing cube. You can see I've now got my design. Now the only problem at the moment is obviously the edges are quite sharp, so if you're wanting to smooth those off, you would move on to this modify column, and we've got fillet. Now because of these curves being quite tight, you might be limited on how much you can round it off by using the filleting tool, but I'm going to hold shift and select the back edge as well, just so that everything is done the same. I'm going to choose fillet, and I'm going to start to drag it in, and already it's telling me I can't do it because I think some of these corners are too tight. So I'm just going to enter 2mm, and that's okay. 3mm, 3mm is a problem, so I might go for 2.5. Okay, I might just stick at 2. Okay, so if I press OK on that one, I've now got my design. This would be a good time to maybe save your design. So I could click on save here, and I could call it JBL bag carrier, and click on save. Take note of your locations. This is the folder that I've got it saved in. So design almost saved. Okay, and I can press on X, and I've still got my model, so I might want to start having a think about whether I want to do anything extra to it. So for example, if I wanted a hole going through it to reduce the amount of material, I could select the surface, create a sketch, draw where I would like to remove some material. So let's say I decided I was going to draw a box here, and I might round the corners, and then it's okay, and I might select my drawing by double clicking on it, and I might press M for move. Now that will allow me to tilt my drawing or to move it around so that I'm a bit happier with whereabouts it is on the model, and then I press OK. Now I can finish the sketch again, or I can put more holes in there, and I can use extrude, but this time I'm not going to pull the extrusion out, I'm going to drag it through. Now it will automatically assume that you're cutting the material out, so I can press OK, and again if I want to add that same fillet to the edge, I can press fillet there, and I can do 2, or I might be able to get away with a bit more on this one. I might say 4 and press OK. Now if I'm happy with my design, for my folder, just a little tip, if you're on a MacBook, you can press Command, Control, Shift and 4, and you can take screenshots of various stages of your work. Now if you wanted to go back to maybe your drawing, down here you can double click on it and it will take you back to that point in your timeline. So I could do Command, Control, Shift and 4. I could take a screenshot of this and that will copy it, so I would have to then go into my portfolio and paste it. Now as soon as I press on finish, it will just take it back to the same point. Now next stage, I would want to change the material, so I'm going to go on to appearance, and I've got lots of different materials here, and if any of them have got a small arrow next to them, you just have to click on download to be able to, I might not be on the internet, to be able to get them to download the material appearances. Okay, now to get them on here, there are 2 ways. You can use the faces, which allows you to put one material colour on here but maybe a different one on the inside, or you can do a body, which is the whole thing. So I just drag the material over to the surface, and then I've got a glossy painted blue. Now if I want a fabric and I want a blue fabric, I'll drop that over the top, but you'll notice that the stitch pattern is out of scale. So I'm just going to delete the glossy blue and then right click and edit the scale of the fabric. If I bring that down, it just looks a little bit more realistic. I press done and then I can press close. Now I want to resave it, and I want to take a new screenshot of my render because I could show it out of a range of different materials for a customer to look at. Now if I go into the render area, you get a lot nicer photos of your work because you're in a photo booth, and you can change your scene settings to play around with the background being an environment or a solid colour, and you can experiment with the camera angles and focal lengths and so on, and these are quite good for taking photos too. Now another area of the program, last one for you to look at, might be the drawing area. Now if you click on drawing from design, it will, when you press OK, it will generate an A3 sheet using your existing design with the existing measurements, and it will say, right, where do you want to drop your front view? So I might say, right, my front view I'm going to put here, and do I want it to be shaded with hidden edges, shaded, visible with hidden edges, or just visible edges? So I might click on that one. I then press on OK. Now check your scale. If you want it to be a bit bigger, you can change that. So this is a front view, not the best view, but if you right click and you project a view, you can drag across to get your side view, you can drag down to get your top view, and you can drag down at an angle to get your isometric view. Now they will all come through as line drawings. You can right click and edit that particular view to change it into something that is rendered. You can make that one a bit bigger if you want to. So let's try 1:1. Okay, press close. And then because this is from our original design, we can click on the dimension tool. We can click on particular surfaces or edges, sorry, zoom in if you need to, and you can drag out the measurements so that they're on here. And then if you want to add any text boxes to maybe state that this is the front view, you can copy and paste that. down here, and you can double click on it to edit it. I think. Or maybe I'll do a second text box. So this one can be your top view or plan view. And you can start from your model creating your engineering drawing or orthographic drawing.